Hello, all my JavaScript friends. This is TheVirtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is our RPG role-playing game. In this video, we're taking a look at our ability class. Now, on our previous video, we mentioned that we're taking the character sheet and we're splitting it up into individual pieces, abilities, attributes, and so on and so forth, in order to be able to build a very dynamic and a very flexible character sheet. And we're going to start with the ability. So what is the ability? Well, if you take a look at the character sheet, you will notice that we have strength, dexterity, wisdom, intelligence, constitution, and charisma. Each one of these is an ability. So the idea here is that the character, once we create the character sheet, it will have a listing or a collection of different abilities. Some characters may have 6, some characters may have 8, some characters like monsters may only have 4 or so. It doesn't really matter. As long as we have each and every single ability its own little tiny entity, then the world is open up to us and how we can use these particular abilities. So let's get back to the code. All right, first of all, as I'm doing with all of these, I'm creating a design, then creating the unit test, and then creating the code itself. So let me just take you through very quickly what we've done here, because this is really very simple. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new ability, and that has 3 arguments: type, value, and bonus. The type is extraordinarily important. The type is extraordinarily important because it must be the type of the ability. Is it strength? Is it wisdom? Is it charisma? And so on and so forth. That is required. We've got to have that particular value there. Without that, we don't know what attribute it happens or what ability it happens to be. Value is also going to be very important because that's the initial value of the ability. Now notice, and in fact, we'll show you here later on, we're not assuming any kind of value. We're not going to roll the dice for them or anything like that. We're going to assume that is coming from somewhere else, because it may be that in your particular game, you may want 3 die 8 instead of 3 die 6 to do your abilities. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But I'm not going to do that for you. I just need to know what that value that value is going to be. That is also required. Without that, we blow up. There's also a bonus. If you go back to the character sheet, you notice that each one has like a +1, +2, or -1 or whatever next to it. That's the bonus. That is optional. It defaults to 0, so that allows you to be able to put a bonus into the system. We'll give them 3 different properties: type, value, and bonus. They're all read-only properties. I do everything read-only properties. I don't allow you to change anything unless I control it, and I control it here. I allow you to change the value, and I allow you to change the bonus. I do not allow you to change the type. That's kind of stupid. We don't want to do that. All right. If you say this is going to be a strength ability and then suddenly change it, oh, it's going to be a charisma ability. Nah, I ain't going to do it. No. Once you're a strength ability, you're always a strength ability. That's it. But your value can change if you get more experience or whatever, or your bonus can change if you happen to, change out your equipment or do a lot of training and, you get leveled up and everything. This is going to use a lot of static properties, and we'll show you that here very shortly. Basically, these are my 6 initial static properties. I know what you're saying right now. Well, wait. You got 6 of them defined here, but you said we can have more. Yeah, of course you can have more, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But I want to start with these 6. These are the 6 basic fantasy abilities, and so I've put them in there. And then this is a private property in which we give them each a different name and each a different abbreviation, because you'll see that abbreviation on the character sheet. And of course, the name is just something that's really nice to have. You always want to have some sort of name there. So I sent it over to AI to do my unit test. As I have said many times before, I do not have AI write my code for me unless it's to give some suggestions, like I did in the factory game on how to do the tweening or how to do the 6 degrees of separation. Is that it? The 6 degrees of freedom on the role-playing on the game on the racing game, but within unit test, I have discovered that coding is the AI is actually very good at the unit test, at least getting me started. Now I have to go in there and still kind of fix it up. So with the ability test here, I have it's generated this unit test, and I went through each and every single one of these to be absolutely certain everything is correct, to make sure that, for instance, the value argument is there and will throw if it's a test for floats, for strings, for nulls. The bonus argument, if it's not there, that we get a 0, things like that. Properties, want to make sure that I get the correct properties back. I want to make sure they are completely completely read only. make sure that my set value is correct. And notice there's a lot of different tests for that. Make sure my set bonus is correct. Making sure that my static properties are initially set up the way I want them to be set up. So that's what all this does. And that's pretty much it right there. And that's really all there is to it. So once we get to the code, this is what it's going to look like. It's very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this list of 6. This is my initial 6 attributes or abilities that are defined in Basic Fantasy. And earlier I said, you know, hey, how can you define some more? If you want to define, let's say, an endurance one, you just go static endurance equals symbol endurance. That's it. Then all you have to do is also add it down here. And let's see, all you have to do is go, say, ability dash. In fact, thank goodness my IDE does, you know, some type ahead for me. And that's it. We now can support endurance. That is all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. So if you had 20 different abilities you want to add in there, you just pop them in there and you're done. Let me go ahead and erase that because I think my unit test will fail on me since the unit test is just looking for these particular 6. But the idea here, did I spell endurance wrong? Well, doesn't matter. But the idea here is that if you wanted to add more of them, you just add it here, and you add it here, and you're done. So this data right here basically allows us to give it names and abbreviations that we're going to use throughout the game itself. The list just is a simple little list. Here's my 3 values, the type, value, and bonus. This is where I check to make sure that the type is correct. I have a static thing called isAbility, in which to be absolutely certain that I've got the an actual ability for, you know, that I'm working with an actual ability there. Set bonus and set values. Here are my different getters. No setters here. Set bonus, set value. That's it. There is nothing else. This is extraordinarily simple. I don't need anything complex here. I'm not doing any kind of calculations. This is just a simple data store for an ability. What is my type? What is my value? What is my bonus? If I want to add one, as you can tell, it's just real simple. Add it there, add it here, and you're done. And then you can just assign it to whatever characters you want to assign it. And the system will take care of it automatically because it's not looking for, I have these 6 abilities. It's looking for, I have a collection of abilities. And so all we have to do is, if we can flip over to our screen here, so I've already got it tagged up here, we just run our unit test to make sure everything is okay. We run our unit test and yep, look at that. 1 pass, 58 pass. There are no failures. It took 179 milliseconds, and every one of these came out perfectly okay. And so that's all there is to the ability. As you can tell, it's extremely simple. There really isn't a whole lot to it. Let me get back on the design screen here. When we do the attributes, which will be our next video, it's slightly more complicated, but it's basically the same thing. I've got a type, I've got values, and that's it. There is nothing else. So this is all there is to the ability. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel to view more videos. Click on the like button on this video and visit us at TheVirtuoid.com. Also, support us on Patreon, where you can get access to member-only videos. Links are down below. Again, thank you very much for watching, and keep on coding.